Getting started soon. Toss any links to stories into the Discord.
Oh, hi. Hello. How you doing? My name is Waldo, and I'm here to feel the politics with you. How is everybody tonight? I am doing great. Thank you. Um, it's Wednesday, so what I'm going to do is I've got a couple of interesting stories to talk about. Then I'm going to rant about a thing, and then I'll talk about anything that anybody wants to talk about. So hop in a chat. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you're feeling. If you want to leave links to stories, you can go on over to the Discord right here. Leave links in there. Tell me what we should talk about. I'll bring it up on screen. We'll talk about it. We'll all feel it together. It'll be a whole thing. It's interactive. This medium. That's the best part about it, is that you can go in a chat and tell me how stupid I am or how cool I am. Either one, up to you. I don't tell you what to do. So did any news happen? Anything going on? I called the death of America a couple of days ago, and I still think I'm right. I think that I called it Time of Death America, February 3rd, and then I'll probably do like a count up or countdown or something like that. But I think we are now circling the drain even more. And I'm going to rant about that at the end of the stream tonight. But first, we have to talk about tariffs. Hooray! Everybody loves tariffs, right? They're so much fun, and everyone loves them, and everyone knows how cool they are, and they totally work, and trade wars are easy to win, and we can totally do that. But that's the wrong thing. Here we go. Let's start with some tariffs. So, what happened? The tariffs went into effect this past Saturday, but then they didn't really. And then Monday, we all got done with the weekend, and when we all came in, it was like, hey, how'd them tariffs go? They didn't go. So then on like Tuesday, Trump had some meetings with Canada and Mexico's president, at which point they gave him nothing, and he backed off. I'm not kidding when I tell you they gave him nothing, and he backed off. But in typical conservative fashion, in typical Republican, Trumpian fashion, what he did was claim that as a victory. See, he pointed an unloaded gun at our allies. They gave him lip service, saying, I owe you one fentanyl squad. And he said, good. There you go. We did it. Victory. And then he walked away claiming victory. And then he ran to the cameras and he talked about how he won and how everything was great and how all our problems are solved. Let's read what the news had to say about it. Let's read this right here. Some tariff concessions from Canada and Mexico touted by Trump. Lack of substance is what the experts say. So nothing. Analysts, including conservative commentators, note that some policies promised by America's neighbors to avoid trade duties were already in the works. He demanded from them, and they gave him something they were already doing. And he claims that he won because he is not a serious person who has no idea, and he has no idea what's going on. President Donald Trump and his supporters have heralded his use of tariff threats to extract concessions from the drug trafficking and border security of Canada and Mexico. Yet experts say some of these measures, agreed to by America's two largest trading partners and close allies, are less substantial than what has been trumpeted. Trumpeted. Should that be a new word? Trumpeted. Hi, Extreme Jedi.
It's like when you play a trumpet, but in past tense.
Oh, good. Thank you. That's the Stream Jedi, everybody. Sometimes he stops by to make us remember the Force. Trumpeted. That might be a new term that we need to invent. Yes, it does mean you used to play the trumpet. But Trump says a thing, and then he says it really loud, but it's nothing. Trumpeted. I think it could work. When he claims to have stopped all the border crossings. Won't be true, but he trumpeted it out. Maybe. So let's see. Let's keep reading. Trump announced the 25% tariff on the two countries Saturday, with the expectation they would take effect Tuesday. By Monday, he said that he had reached an agreement with Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum to deploy 10,000 of her country's National Guard officers to the U.S. border to stem the flow of migrants and drugs to the U.S. Sheinbaum said that she agreed to establish a bilateral working group with the Trump administration that would tackle security, migration, and trade. That's the IOU that I was talking about. She owes him IOU one fentanyl task squad. Does she ever have to do it? Probably not. Doesn't matter. Who cares? The same day, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said he agreed to beef up border and drug enforcement, as well as to appoint a fentanyl czar and designate cartels as terrorist organizations. IOU one fentanyl czar. Does it do anything? No. Will it prevent anybody getting fentanyl across? No. Will it lower fentanyl deaths in America? No. Victory, says Donald Trump. Donald Trump calls this a victory. In return, Trump promised to suspend the tariff on both countries for 30 days. So, I wish this thing would stop doing that. 30 days. So, what will happen in 30 days? Two options. Two possibilities that I can see. One, Donald Trump says, we need more. We need more from these people. The tariffs are back on. Give me some more. And they give him another worthless IOU. And then he gets to claim that he claimed victory again. Or two, he claims that all the problems are gone. He's already shutting down the CDC, the people who count the danger and the things that have gone wrong. And the people who would be counting all the fentanyl deaths will be out of a job, you see. So then when nobody counts the numbers, the number will be zero, and he'll claim victory again. Look at it. My threat of tariffs has caused all the fentanyl deaths to go away, when in reality, all they did was underfund the CDC and stop counting them. Tony's here. Hi, Tony. Enjoying the show so far. Grab some popcorn. We've only just begun. Tearing the country apart? Yeah, I thought you'd be excited about that, Tony. You don't really like the country all that much. You've removed yourself from it by being... Donald Trump is unconstitutional. I think he is seceded from the country. 10 past 11. Just got here, Waldo. How bad is it? Well, the Elon thing is going to continue. The tariffs went off just as I expected. We're talking about tariffs right now. Then we'll jump into the Elon coup, and we'll argue with Tony whenever we feel like it. So far, Trump admin has eliminated corrupt left agencies like USAID. You're a moron, Tony. I'm sorry. You're stupid. They're not allowed to do that. It was illegal the way they did it, but legality doesn't matter to Donald Trump and the Republicans. They don't care what's legal. They just care what feels good. Cut useless spending. No, they didn't. Started saving the border. No, they didn't. Saved women's sports. No, they didn't. Christ almighty, Tony. You buying into the sauce and it makes you feel good, doesn't it? You'll be having to cope. You stated fact. Those are feelings, Tony, but you don't know it because you don't know what a feeling is. Women's sports. Let's start with that one. The thing that he signed, bitching and moaning, pissing and whining, crying like a little bitch that he was, about a man who beat up a woman. He's still pissed off about the thing that happened over the summer with the Olympics, where one woman boxed another woman. And then the losing woman cried and whined and screamed and said, "It's a trans man, it's a trans man." It wasn't. Factually, Tony, factually, that was not a trans woman. It was a woman. The facts says that she was a woman. But you don't care about facts. You care about your feelings, you see. You felt good to shit on those trans women. You feel good shitting on them. You love being mean to trans women because it feels good. And because it felt good, it must be true. And if it feels good, it must be true. I don't care who boxed who. That's what Trump was talking about. You don't even listen to him, do you? Care that Trump said that men can't box women. It didn't happen, Tony. He's making laws based on false accusations, and you're on board. Because you don't care what's real. You don't care what's correct. You care about what makes you feel good. If it doesn't happen, you have nothing to worry about. They're hurting other people based on false statements. Tony. If we lie about what happened, then create laws, and then innocent people are harmed, that's a bad thing. But it makes you feel good. It makes the conservatives feel good. So they'll allow it. Conservatism is a feelings-based ideology. Always has been. When they say facts don't care about your feelings, it's horseshit. They don't have the facts. The fact is, there are like a dozen trans women in college sports, like a dozen. How many untested rape kits are there in the world, in the country? I'm gonna Google this. We're gonna Google it. Ready? Untested rape kits in the U.S. USA facts. Here we go. How many untested rape kits are awaiting testing in the USA? Let's see. By state. Let's see. If you cared about women, you'd do something about this. 25,000 untested rape kits by law enforcement agents. 25,000. There are like 10. You count them on just your two hands, not 10,000 trans women. There are like 10 in college sports. But you've protected people from those 10 people. But these 25,000, was it yet? 25,000 untested rape kits, you don't give a shit about that. Because you never gave a shit about women. Donald Trump doesn't give a shit about women. He gives a shit about hurting trans people. That's what he wants to do. You're the one defending the idea of men beating up on women. It didn't happen. The law now says that you can't do that, claiming that it isn't happening. So either way, you should be good. No, unless you support the idea of men beating on women. Trans women are women, Tony. This is a thought process that you cannot comprehend. Do that so silly. You're going to see after the recent round of deportations, rape numbers will drop. Like I said, enjoy the show. Tony, illegal immigrants commit fewer crimes than local people. Illegal immigrants commit fewer crimes than the native people do. They always have. The numbers, the facts state that. But you don't care about facts. You care about the feeling of deporting those people who don't belong here. It makes you feel good. Who's doing all those rapes? Because we'll never know. Yeah, exactly. We could, if you cared about women, you'd cared about that number. You'd get that number down. That's your opinion. Not a fact. No, man. The people who count the crimes, the people who count the numbers, have come to that conclusion time and time again. But you don't like that number, so you call it an opinion. You don't like how the numbers came out, so you ignore them, or you claim that they're wrong, or that they were come up with by Soros. George Soros made those numbers. You see, when the FBI says that the crime numbers are down, it's actually for George Soros. George Soros wrote those numbers to make the Democrats look better. You've been out of women's locker rooms will also lower it. No, it won't. No, it won't. Trans people aren't attacking women in the locker rooms. It's not happening. You're imagining it. And the people in charge are telling you to imagine it. And you are. Trump's the most anti-rape candidate of all time. Nonsense. He is literally a rapist. Like, he's been found criminally liable for doing it once. And one of his ex-wives wrote about a time he did it in her book. Twice. He hired Pete Hegseth, who is also a rapist. Yeah, I know. Sometimes it just the foil hat just comes out of me. Anywho, before I got distracted, I'm sorry. Hop in the chat. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you're feeling. By all means. What were we talking? We were talking about the tariffs. Donald Trump tried to rob our friends, our allies, with an empty gun. They gave him they gave him IOUs that says IOU 1 fentanyl team. And he backed the fuck off because he's a bitch. He had no plan for the tariffs. He just wanted to shake down our friends. He tried to rob the people our friends. If I have real friends in real life. If I went to them and threatened them, and then I threatened them with a knife or a gun or something like that, and they gave me 75 cents, and then I walked away, I wouldn't be a winner. I'd be a bad guy. I'd be a bad person doing a bad thing. I wouldn't claim that as a victory. They're not going to be your friends for very long. I went to a women's bathroom today on accident, picked a bad time to give up on reading it. Didn't Canada and Mexico already agree on these terms before Trump came into office? They gave him nothing. They gave him lip service. They gave him words. Mexico agreed to put 10,000 troops on the border. Guys, listen. On a normal day, they have 15,000. They have 15,000 troops on that border already. They gave him nothing. But he doesn't know that because he's an idiot. He does not know what's going on around him at any given time. They promised him 10,000 troops. They already had 15 there. And they promised a fentanyl task force that's going to do nothing. They'll put together a little team in the government and say, yeah, we did it. Donald Trump, again, in the very Republican way, thinks that the border is some sort of war zone where people are sneaking across all the time and you need soldiers facing each direction to prevent people from sneaking across. That's not how it operates. The people who are coming here illegally are overstaying visas, which means we let them cross. They didn't sneak across the desert. They didn't sneak through between the gates. They didn't sneak by a bunch of soldiers. They came in. We let them in. We welcomed them in. We made them do some work. We paid them very little, and then they stayed here. The vast majority of them came through that way. Troops on the border does not solve that. The majority of the fentanyl is coming in, being smuggled by Americans. The border will be secure whether you like it or not. Tony, no, it won't. Troops on the border don't secure the border. They come through the ports of entry because we let them. And then most of the fentanyl is being smuggled by Americans. Tony, I need you to hear this. Americans are bringing the fentanyl in because it's worth money. People like drugs. Have you ever tried them? They're great. People love drugs. So if there's people in America who want to pay for them, the Americans drive south with their driver's license. They get it. They drive north, and then they sell it. Troops on the border will not stop that. This will not secure the border. It makes you feel like the border's more secure, doesn't it? And that's all that matters, your feelings. Well, if you don't like it, then go start your own country. No, actually, Tony, listen. You and the Republicans and Donald Trump are doing unconstitutional things. You've left the United States. You are stopping people from having liberty. You and Donald Trump are preventing the Constitution from working properly. You're the ones who have left. And I'm tired of pretending that you're the Americans. You're not. I am. Mexican cartels are bringing in... No, they're not. Please look this up. You aren't aware, and this is just a bit embarrassing. You've been lied to, Tony. The people who lie to you make you feel good, and so you think it's true. Tony needs some DMT. I know, right? My TDS is showing Donald Trump is deranged. And if you don't see that, you're the one with the syndrome, Tony. Trump derangement syndrome is on the people who think he's smart. You're the deranged one. I'm looking at a goddamn lunatic, and I'm telling you that he's a goddamn lunatic, and he's acting like a goddamn lunatic, and you're telling me that he's a genius. You're the one with the syndrome. So, the people in Mexico have given us nothing, but then he canceled the tariffs. The people of Canada gave us nothing, and he canceled the tariffs. So, as I was trying to say, there's two options. One, 30 days from now, he demands more nothing. At which point they give him more nothing. They're probably putting together another IOU right now. She's going to, Claudia Sheinbaum is going to write out a coupon book that promises one free foot rub and then one free back rub and then one I wash the dishes for you. Like a coupon book. You've seen them. Your kids give them to you on Valentine's Day or on Mother's Day and shit. That's what she's going to do up, is a bunch of fake nothingness to get him to shut the hell up and extend it by another year or another few months. Or option number 2, he literally claims that the problems have gone away. He cancels the CDC. He removes the people who count the numbers. He removes the people who count all the fentanyl deaths. And then he claims that he won. Will it be true? No. The people will still be dying of fentanyl overdoses. The people will still be having a problem with it. It will still be being smuggled. But he will look into the camera and he will tell Tony, I did it. No more fentanyl. No more fentanyl deaths. Look at these numbers. These numbers have never been better. The numbers are down. The numbers have never been better, and they're all gone. And the people who want to believe him will believe him. Doesn't matter what the facts are. Doesn't matter what the reality is. They will believe him because it makes them feel good. Look at you. You're unkempt and haggard, ranting and raving about Trump, who's working hard to save America while you're stewing in your own gamer filth and shouting anti-American I'm shouting American bullshit, thank you. Second, this is a gorgeous shirt. I've never looked better. I have never looked better, honestly. Girlies give me compliments when I wear this shirt. Unkempt. I'm gorgeous, thank you. Rights only exist until you lose them. Rights are given to us on the condition force. We can always use the. Well, you have the rights. The government is supposed to protect those rights. Conservatives almost sometimes comprehend this, but they are a small box kind of ideology. They don't want you to use the rights. See, 10 past 11, you have all kinds of rights, but if you live in a city and have blue hair and a nose piercing and you belong to a polycule, you're using your freedom wrong. Freedom means straight, white, cis, hetero Christians in a white picket fence in the suburbs with 2.5 kids. That's freedom, you see. 10 past 11, that's freedom. And if you're not that, if you deviate from that, you're doing your freedom wrong. Well, you just said has to be some of the stupidest shit I've ever... Right, because you've never heard truth before, Tony. Your argument against what I said is a fictional scenario. That's what I'm saying, Tony. You live in a fictional bubble filled with belief rather than reality. It's a wonderful shirt. Thank you, Trader Todd. I think so, too. It's one of those Henley shirts, yeah, and I think it looks fine. It looks good. You keep talking like that, and I'll undo another button. There it is. There we go. We'll undo another button, Tony, just for you. Dude, even formerly left-wing people like Mark Zuckerberg ditch the left because you guys are insane. You couldn't have given me a better target. You guys even lost Rogan. Time for self-reflection. Okay, let's do, Tony, I'm here with you, buddy. Let's do some self-reflection. Let's do some self-reflection. Why did Mark Zuckerberg leave the left? Does anybody in chat want to tell me why Mark Zuckerberg left the left? Because I know the answer. And I think a few of you know the answer as well. Somebody type it in the chat. Why did Zuckerberg, the head of Meta, leave? Money. That's right. Rogan was left-leaning. Well, he was on board for weed. And yeah, money. That's why Rogan left the left as well. Rogan is a special kind of dumb guy. He's similar to Trump in many similar ways. He's an interviewer and he doesn't know all the stuff. So whoever's telling him a thing, he's susceptible to a good argument. Joe Rogan, susceptible to a good argument. So if he's arguing, somebody gives him an argument and it sounds good, then he'll be on board for it. It's very similar to conspiracy thinking. I know. I'll take what's DEI for 500. Wrong, Tony. The big companies didn't even do half of the DEI that the right says they did. Yeah, capitalist pig. It's for money. If Mark Zuckerberg thinks he can make more money with DEI, he will. He'll put DEI into his programs to make more money. If he thinks he can make more money by moving to the right, he will. Mark Zuckerberg has no ideology, Tony. None. Zero. He has only one goal, and that is to make more money. He saw Donald Trump win, and Donald Trump is giving tax breaks to his friends. Donald Trump is creating a sovereign wealth fund with which he can turn into a slush fund to give people money. Mark Zuckerberg wants to be one of the people that gets that money. That's all. Elon is an actual literal Nazi. And Joe Rogan is just a conspiracy-brained stoner who is subject to a good argument. Good arguments will sway him. He's malleable. And that's okay. He's got an open mind. Yeah. So we've talked about those two things. Also, young people turned out hard for Trump, and also Latinos and blacks, record highs. No, he lost the youth vote. Tony, he lost the youth vote. He's been telling you that he won it, but he's a liar. He didn't win the youth vote. Your side is cooked, man. Hanging up in the midterms, saying you're leftist will register the same as saying you're an incel. I'll be a leftist forever until something better comes along. He didn't win the youth vote. Tony, he didn't win the youth vote. He says it all the time, but it's a lie.
Turn the friggin' frogs gay.
And Malsedian just turned a frog gay. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Hope you're proud of yourself. You turned a frog gay. Fifth month in a row. That's a lot of frogs. Malsedian. So let me look up. Trump did not win the youth vote. Let me find it. There we go. Youth voters as a whole favored Kamala Harris to Donald Trump 52-46 in the 2024 presidential election. Yet with every age group this year, youth showed a notable shift toward Trump. They shifted towards Trump, Tony. Yes, they turned towards him slightly, but he still lost the youth vote 52-46. But what has he been saying? He says he won the youth vote by 30 points. That's what he says. He's a liar. But you like those lies because it makes you feel good. It makes you feel happy. The point is the youth support went up. I didn't say he won the youth vote. He says he won the youth vote. Is he lying? Tony, listen. When he says he won the youth vote by 30 points, is he lying? He is. And why do we like it when he lies? Why do you like it when he lies? Because it makes you feel good. Conservatism is a feels-based ideology. Always has been, always will be. So is leftism. All politics are based on feelings. They always have been. I'm brave enough to say it. I'm ballsy enough to tell you my positions are based on feelings. Yours are too. You're just not brave enough to say it. We're allowed to say that Kamala should have won. We have hesitant to accuse. Wrong. So leftism is a mental disorder. No, it's a feelings-based ideology, my man. Yet here I am explaining it to you. You live in a bubble filled with misinformation. And when I give you actual information, it sounds crazy to you. So what else do we have to talk about tonight? Oh, yeah, okay. Let's look at KBP. Thank you very much for the thing. I need a new logo. Making Biden laugh is pleasant, but I need a new one. Anybody who wants to go on over to the Discord, give me a new little photo we can put up there for that. Biden's old and dead and gone, and he has failed us. So we need to replace him with something better up there. Let's look at this. There was a protest in the Capitol today about the U.S. aid, which is soft power. Again, what is U.S. aid? Soft power. Very broadly, U.S. aid is soft power. What we do is we give our friends and our allies stuff, then they're nice to us. That's the plan. Tony's probably going to yell about how U.S. aid is all illegal, wasteful spending, but he doesn't understand soft power. Neither does Trump. They don't understand soft power. Buying someone something nice, being polite to them, giving them some cool stuff will make them happy, make them feel good, you see? All politics are based on feelings. Then their government is more likely to deal properly with us. You sounded like the most bitter libs to me. Found on Blue Sky tonight. Not a good look. I'm telling you like it is, my man. The scenario you can describe that you would be okay with the current year. What needs to happen? Me or Tony? I'm going to keep blabbing. So, U.S. aid is soft power. Donald Trump doesn't comprehend what soft power is. He only knows hard power. Force people to do what you want through tariffs, threaten invasions, do invasions, harm people with the weapons. He doesn't know that you can actually convince people through diplomacy, through buying them stuff, through being a decent group of people. Decency, you can convince a lot of people to come to your side. You catch more flies with honey. That's the old adage. U.S. aid was our honey. It sounds dirty when I say it that way. Do as I say versus here's a path towards cooperation. Exactly. U.S. aid was that path towards cooperation. It was the honey. It was spending on other countries or other organizations or other people to make them think that the United States is decent and good. And maybe they should be our friend. Maybe they should be our ally. Trump doesn't want any of that shit. That's gay, liberal cuck shit. So we're going to cancel it. We're going to destroy it. We're going to claim that it was all fake, stolen money. And then let's see what the conservatives have to say about it. USAID is a corrupt way to influence other nations to try and coup them by funneling their money into NGOs, also known as diplomacy. Even other countries' leaders are saying they're glad Trump admin did this. You'd think Waldo could put aside the partisan bullshit for even a single thing, but this is a partisan maniac. Tony, that's diplomacy. That's diplomacy. It's one avenue of diplomacy. Yes, buying influence is a path that the richest country in the world should take. Instead, we should just be charging them. We're the richest country in the world. We have all the stuff. We have all the best people. We have all the money. We should be using it to get what we want, to make America great again, to put America first, use some of the money. Instead, Donald Trump would threaten our friends with tariffs. He would threaten our allies with invasion to get what he wants. The biggest people, the least educated people. Yeah, I know, right? He would threaten all of these people. He would threaten our friends. He would threaten all of these other nations to get what he wants when he could simply be decent. Do a little bit of diplomacy, do a little bit of influence, and he'll get what he wants. You catch more flies with honey, Tony. You catch more flies with honey. But that's liberal cuck shit, and he doesn't like it. So USAID, there are protests out there. Let's look at the protest photos. Let's look at the photos. There we go. So the world is watching. So there's some protests out there. That's very fun. People. No more Nazis. Okay. Love thy neighbor, our souls. There's a pretty good photo of Elon. I'm pretty sure that was a live photo of him. Some people, not that many people. Do you hear the people now? They're protesting. Very nice. Enemies, foreign and domestic. I agree. Foreign enemy and a domestic enemy right there for sure. Forget red versus blue. It's the rich versus you. Catchy slogan. We're under attack. Save our democracy. He's got a secret little thing under his hair. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Fascist infestation. I agree. They are all up in the place. So, as I covered a couple of days ago, the Elon has done a coup. Tony, listen, Tony. Elon has your social security number. I want you to think about that. All of the protesters today were senior citizens who are mad they don't get government freebies anymore. Tony, he has your social security number. Are you okay with that? And he has mine too. He has all of them. If he decides who gets what money, who doesn't, that's not his role within the government. I don't want him to have that power over me. I don't want him to have that power over you, Tony. I don't want him to cut off your social security. That would be wrong. That would be illegal. I disagree with you on every single thing in the goddamn world, Tony, but I do not want Elon Musk to cut off your social security. I don't. That would be wrong. That would be illegal. But he's going to do it to me because I called him a fascist. I used my voice to speak, and he's going to use the government to harm me. He has yours too. I'm okay with it, though. You should watch it. Yeah, perhaps watch it. Yeah, perhaps I should watch it. Maybe I'll say something, and then they'll hurt me with the government. Trump's America now, dickhead. Act accordingly. Tony, you're anti-First Amendment. You know that, right? You're anti-free speech. If I say the things he doesn't like, he's going to use the government to harm me. And you would cheer. If Waldo got harmed because of the words he spoke, you would clap. Because you are anti-American, sir. This is what Trump and MAGA leads to. Anti-free speech. Why does a civilian have control over our sunset? Yeah, exactly. It's a good question. Why does he have control? Because he took it. That is the problem. So let's listen to Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries do nothing. None of that is going to happen. Calm down. You just told me it was going to happen. Boss, which is it? Make up your fucking mind. I need to watch it. Watch it, Waldo. Watch it. But it's not going to happen. You're weak. You're scared of your own ideology. You're scared to follow your own ideology to its own ends. I'm not. I followed your ideology down to the end, and this is where it leads. You guys did this in 2016. Horse shit. Horse shit. Melting down every day, every week at the end of democracy, yet here we are. Barely. Elon didn't take... Who took over the Treasury in 2016? He took over the Treasury, boss. Either Tony's from Boston or he's a bot. I can never tell. No one believes your side's shit anymore. We were upset about what could happen in 2016, and you're right, it didn't happen. The things that he could have done in 2016 didn't happen. They are happening now. Elon Musk owns the Treasury. He has your Social Security number. He has my Social Security number. And according to you, if I say the wrong thing, he's going to use the government to harm me. Because he doesn't know what free speech is. Let's listen to Chuck Schumer. Yeah, you're right. I should stop arguing in chat so much. Thank you for coming in, though. I appreciate it. Let's listen to Chuck Schumer say nothing of value.
Okay, good afternoon. First, I'd like to announce that all 47 Democrats will vote against Russell Vought. We're united in our agreement that Russell Vought is a dangerous and destructive choice to lead the Office of Management and Budget. And we saw a precursor to his leadership last week during the dangerous federal funding freeze that crippled, or nearly crippled, critical duties of the federal government and its operation.
You're right. He is
As
worse.
the chief architect,
He's
Cook and Bottle
going to do
Washer of
nothing.
Project 2025, it's Russell Vought who is laser focused on undermining our government. He's proven it. Senate Democrats will unanimously oppose him and do everything we can to prevent him from leading OMB. And should Republicans not see the light and shoulder shrug this dangerous person into this seat, they'll have to answer to the American people. Russell Vought wants to cast chaos across America. He's depending solely on Republicans to do it. And as I said, he's a danger to the budget. He's a danger.
He wrote
to
Project
what people in
2025,
America need.
and now he's going to be in the government.
On the reason we are
I read
here.
Project 2025. It's a terrible idea.
So over the past few days, and Hakeem and I work together really closely and well, and I welcome him to the Senate as he welcomes me to the House, I think. Yeah, okay. Over the past few days, Democrats have warned the American people that DOGE is operating like a shadow government.
Hey, Waldo
Yesterday,
said
I said that DOGE is not a real government agency. It has no authority to make spending decisions, to shut down programs, or ignore federal law. This is not debatable. This is an indisputable fact. No authority for spending decisions, to shut down programs, or ignore federal law. Yet Elon Musk took issue with that warning. He said, in answer to a tweet that I said that did this, he said,
tweet battle.
Quote, is the one shot the American people have to defeat bureaucracy and restore democracy. Now, give me a break. Nothing screams democracy like having a secret squad of company men pull off a hostile takeover of America's Social Security and tax information in the dead of night. That is not democracy, Mr. Musk.
So he's saying things that are correct and good. Fine. Wonderful. What are you going to do about it, Chuck?
And yet it's precisely what DOGE is doing. It's letting a small group of unelected people, secret, run rampant through the executive branch, accessing the private data millions of Americans need And God knows what they're going to do with it. God knows. So there are two dangers. One, people's privacy is at stake. Second, that there's a risk that this small group could cut program after program using one excuse or another. So today, Leader Jeffries and I are joining together to push legislation to prevent unlawful meddling in the Treasury Department's payment systems and protect Americans across the country.
They're going to pass a law to make it illegal to take over the Treasury. That's it. They're going to pass a law that makes it illegal to steal from the Treasury. And maybe if they're lucky, that law will pass 3, 4, 5 months from now. It's happening now. It's already done. It's already happened. Elon is already in there, adding his own equipment, adding his own servers, adding his own hard drives. The two businessmen are dismantling and reconstructing the U.S. government for their own benefit and quickly as they can before established powers can be responded. Yeah, exactly. That's what's happening in Mail City. But don't worry, Chuck Schumer's going to pass a law to make this illegal, unconstitutional thing double illegal, more illegal, double unconstitutional. Don't worry, he's here to help. I think I'll keep listening, but he has a plan, I think, with like 4 parts, and it's a bad plan.
Our bill aims to do a few simple things. One, to deny access to special government employees that don't have to disclose their conflicts of interest or any other ethical agreements. 2, to deny access to anyone with conflicts of interest or lack of appropriate clearance. And 3, include personal tax information into existing privacy protections. We call our legislation Stop the Steal.
You guys, it's so funny. He's so clever. They call it Stop the Steal. Don't you feel better? All politics are based on feelings. He wants you to feel better. I don't. I think he's doing nothing. Trump hasn't even done anything. McConnell is the only reason he has any power. Musk is the biggest reason by far that Trump won the election. Project 2025 is the only reason that there's a plan. I know, I agree. Schumer doesn't have the votes. He doesn't have the votes to get this to even pass. He just wants the Democrats to slightly feel better. But he's bad at making you feel better. He's bad at explaining things. He's bad at communication because he's good at writing laws. I recognize that it's difficult to be good at both. If you're good at writing laws, you might be kind of a nerd. If you're kind of a nerd, hard to talk to people. Trust me. Which means that he's bad at getting the point across. Communication is the point of the politics, to make you feel safe, or if you're a conservative, to make you feel afraid that somebody's going to come and get you and steal your unemployment and your job. But the Democrats need to make you feel safe. They need to make you feel good. They need to make you feel like the things are working. But they can't. Because they're bad at explaining things. They're bad at describing things. Hell, I struggle with it sometimes. I try and invent scenarios on the fly, and it's not easy. Talking into a camera, riffing is not simple. It takes practice. That's why I'm practicing right now with you. And I appreciate you being here. Thank you for practicing. If you would like to practice with me, press the like button, press the subscribe button, press the thumbs up button, go on to the comments and tell me how awful I am. By all means, it's a good time. Maybe you guys should impeach Trump again for the 3rd time. It'll work this time, right? Even if, I'll get to that here in a few minutes. Even if we did, he'd just say it was illegal. Boss, 99 senators vote to impeach Donald Trump. He'll just look into the camera and tell you it was illegal. They didn't do it right. Illegal. They can't impeach me. It's against the law. Won't be true, but he'll say it, and you'll believe it because you want to. So let's see. Let's keep listening to this guy. Go.
Whatever Doge is doing, it's not democracy. We know what democracy's like. It's out in the open. It's not secret. You do 2 sides debate, and then the elected officials make decisions. Democracy doesn't work in the shadows. Democracy doesn't skirt the rule of law. And it doesn't give special privilege to the ideas and needs of a group of ultra-wealthy people at the expense of American families.
Yeah, that's what democracy usually does.
Republicans have argued that this is not an effort to cut government quite yet, that this is just a review process, that they're looking at how the money is spent and that they're trying to come up with a plan to make sure that it's spent correctly. Is your issue with the process here, or is your issue that Elon Musk is the one that's in charge of it?
Our issue is, of course, with the whole process, secret, behind closed doors, and you say they don't want to cut. Look, where we saw what they tried to freeze payments to just about everything, what they want to do. So our belief is there's a real danger, a terrible, terrible danger, and a looming danger that they will not only have access to Americans' privacy information, but that they will use that to cut programs left and right.
But how specifically are you concerned about Musk himself? Is he...
We're concerned that Musk is in charge of those.
Please tell us what you think about the epic Doge man, the cool Redditor, the cool guy who makes the funny sync jokes.
But we're concerned about how the whole process works. And ultimately, the buck falls with Donald Trump, the president. But we are concerned that a small number of people are concerned with the whole process, including Musk and including the others who are in it. And reflecting a broad group of people who have input.
I'm skipping ahead because he has a plan, a 4-point plan that I want to talk about.
What other recourse do
Okay,
Democrats
recourse.
have?
Here we go.
Obviously, you
This is the
guys are
important
in
bit.
the minority on both
We'll
sides
get rid
of
of
the
everybody.
Capitol.
Recourse.
What can you guys
Here
be
it comes.
doing when this is money that you have appropriated to be spent both in the federal freeze and in the international freeze?
We have 4 different ways of recourse.
4, you guys ready? 4 different ways of recourse. Ready? Are you ready? They're going to be great. I'm sure they're going to be fantastic. Let's hear them. 4 recourses.
The first is just bringing this to light.
This press conference right now is step 1. Step 1, this press conference right here, right now. This one right here. This is bringing this to light. This is step 1.
Being sure that the American people know what it is. We've had some success there already. When we brought the freeze of funds to the public, there was an outcry, and Trump had to back off. When we brought up the tariffs to the American people, there was an outcry, and Trump had to back off. I believe there will be even a greater outcry, or as much an outcry as this. The second thing.
What outcry? That means you and me. I'm outcrying, sure. You're outcrying, okay. Anything else? Is that going to make anything happen? No. Elon's still in there. Still in there. Last time I checked. Outcry all day long. Not going to do any good. Democrats have nothing legal. Nothing. Yeah, exactly. They've got nothing. And let's you're skipping to the end there, Trader Todd. Let's get to the end. Wait, was it Trader Todd? Yeah. Let's hear him say the nothing.
We have is litigation. There are various groups that are already going to court to sue because they believe that this is against the law. And we are working with them in terms of giving them information, telling them what we know, helping make their court case as strong as possible. The third is oversight.
Oh, did I miss it? I was playing with chat. Sorry.
We are working with them in terms of giving them information, telling them what we know.
Sorry.
Tariffs to the American people.
Sorry, I screwed that up. I was reading chat.
I believe there'll be even a greater outcry, or as much an outcry as this. The second thing we have is litigation.
Litigation.
There are various groups
that means
that are already
suing.
going to court to sue because
sue him. Has anybody tried suing Elon Musk? And then 6 to 8 weeks from now, when he gets served those papers, maybe he won't be in the Treasury anymore. Sue him. Step 1, talk about it. Step 2, sue him.
They believe that this is against the law. And we are working with them in terms of giving them information, telling them what we know, helping make their court case as strong as possible. The third is oversight.
Third, oversight. That's kind of the same as the first one, but the House is going to convene a committee. They're going to talk about it.
In the Senate, we're going to have some shadow hearings which discuss what this is. And we're asking whistleblowers across Treasury and other places, we're talking to some of them already, to come forward. And the final is legislation.
Legislation. Those are the 4. Talk about it. Sue him. Talk about it. Pass a law. Shadow hearings. Yeah, I know. The shadow hearings, folks. He said it right out there. Out of nowhere. Weren't you guys paying attention? He said shadow hearings. And I've been telling you about the shadow hearings for years. Shadow hearings. He admitted it finally. That's the 4 steps. Talk about it. Sue him. Talk about it in the Senate. Pass a law that makes illegal things illegal. I love this plan. I'm glad to be a part of it. This is a fantastic plan. I love it. This is a great plan. I'm sure this will work. That was sarcasm. I'm sorry. Should have had a /S on screen. Couple of years ago, I'm going to rant a little bit. So follow with me here as we rant. A couple of years ago, Russia tried to steal a part of Ukraine. Biden gave them weapons to defend themselves, and according to the right, he is a war-loving, bloodthirsty, violent dictator. That Joe Biden guy. Trump, however, is a peaceful, loving, hippie-dove, anti-war president. But he wants to, what? Send American troops to Gaza to forcefully remove all the people there and build condos with his name on them? Force Canada through harsh economic means to join the U.S.? Go to war with Mexico? Forcefully take back the Panama Canal? Force Greenland to become a state? And in the past, Donald Trump has used tear gas on peaceful protesters. Trump's fans, Tony among them, has abandoned reality. The real world did not agree with their beliefs, so they stopped being a part of it. We have entered a new political landscape. Rules and laws are just words. After January 6th, some people did get prosecuted and sent to jail, but only among the proles. The little people on the ground got in trouble. The people up high did not get in trouble and lied to you right to your face about it. Donald Trump said many times there were no guns there. You can go to YouTube and watch a man fire a gun into the air. High-level people faced no consequences, and only the little people who did, even though they eventually got pardoned, because laws do not apply to MAGA. During the end of the campaign, we saw Elon bribe people to vote for Trump. It was illegal, and yes, some lawsuits happened, but who cares? They did it anyway. No one got in trouble. No one paid any price. No one was arrested. Rules do not apply to MAGA. Trump has signed executive orders that are clearly unconstitutional. Some judges have told him that they are unconstitutional, and he cannot do that. They filed lawsuits and wrote legal documents saying that he can't do the things that he has already done. Lawsuits have no effect on MAGA. Elon has now taken over the Treasury. He has your Social Security number. He has mine. He can pick and choose which departments get money and which don't. He can cancel your tax refund if he feels like it. Senators, as we saw with Chuck Schumer there, have said this is illegal. Judges have said this is illegal. No-name political streamers have said this is illegal. Yet it continues because the Constitution does not apply to MAGA. And there will be more of this on the way. I am predicting that Trump will change the voting rules and regulations for the midterm elections in 2026, and the Dems will whine, "You can't do that. We passed a law. You can't do that." But it won't matter. He will do it anyway. Trump will get rid of the Department of Education, and the judges will say that's illegal. And he'll do it anyway. Trump will send troops to the Panama Canal, and we will say that's illegal, but it won't matter. You can't sue him out of these plans. You can't pass a law that he will respect. Congress cannot save us by passing a law. Trump ignores laws, and the MAGA fan base loves it when he does. We have only a very small window left. Very tiny window of opportunity right now to put Elon Musk in handcuffs. The sooner the better. That window is closing, and it might be closed already. Schumer told us he has a plan. It included no real world action, just more words and more talking. Could Schumer have Elon arrested? Maybe. He could round up a handful of federal agents and convince them that Elon is trespassing in a place that he's not allowed to be and arrest him. 3 reasons why that won't work. 3 reasons. Okay. The stupidest one first. First is that Chuck Schumer wants to be a live streamer. I've said this before. Everybody in Congress on both sides just want to be live streamers. They want to look into a camera and tell you about how they feel. They don't want to pass laws and shit. Blech, that's nerd shit. They don't like that. it gets gross, and they don't want to do it. So that's the first reason. He doesn't really want to do anything. Reason number two, and more importantly, law enforcement usually falls under the DOJ and the executive branch. That means the president. And I, for one, am starting to think it might have been a bad idea to elect a criminal to run our law enforcement agencies. And third, and this is the most important one, it opens the door to all the violence. Imagine if Schumer could round up a dozen FBI agents and go in there and grab Elon and his 4chan Nazi trolls. They would be put into a holding cell for about 10 seconds before Donald Trump sent his own federal agents in there to get them out. And what if that first group doesn't want to let them out? Well, then you get a cop fight. Federal agents arresting, wrestling with, and fighting other federal agents. The world spirals out of control at that point because it will be recorded. We will watch it. We will see what happens. We will see all of that stuff, and it will start Donald Trump down a very dangerous path where he gets to create his own police squad. They can only report to him through the Sovereign Wealth Fund. He will pay them. He'll pick up a few of those Jan 6 people who got pardons. He'll bring them in. He'll give them nice matching brown uniforms, and they can be his own police force. That's why Chuck Schumer isn't arresting him. I recognize that. I see that. Yeah, it's the most chaotic time. We're only 1 month in. That's right. Now I ain't MAGA. I'm one more of Limbaugh or Pat Buchanan conservative. Maybe. I think that we were only 16 days in Trump. Yeah, it's only started. We're just getting started. So there is nothing the Democrats can do, even if they were to try and arrest this guy. That would lead to other agents bashing into each other. Donald Trump would demand he be let out of jail right this instant. He would send his FBI agents in there to get them out. Then if any kerfuffle happens, any sort of standoff, any sort of violence, any sort of federal agent wrestling with another federal agent, putting another federal agent in handcuffs, Donald Trump goes 100% into violence mode. Arresting Chuck Schumer, arresting Hakeem Jeffries, arresting Nancy Pelosi, arresting every single Democrat who has ever said anything mean about him, putting them in jail. And then they will write a sternly worded letter. They will try and pass a law 6 months from now that says it's illegal to do that. But they won't be there to vote. They'll be stuck in jail. That is why he's not arresting Elon Musk, which means we have two options. I don't think that we can get out of this because we shouldn't have elected a criminal to run the law enforcement, but we have. Pat Buchanan is too liberal for me. That doesn't surprise me, Tony. We have elected a criminal to run our Justice Department, which means that they're going to do criminal things. My government legal credibility has been diluted to such an extent that any finger pointing now is simply fake news and weaponization of the Justice Department. Yeah, exactly. Trump really wants a piece of Shifty Schiff. Yes, he does. He's moments away from arresting Shifty Schiff. He is. Give him one good reason. Give him one good reason. If Schiff walked into the Treasury today and looked at Elon Musk and said, "You're not allowed to do that," they would call it threatening. They would call it illegal. They would call it the hand gesture like this is an assault, and they would arrest him. Trump aren't that fraud, or Trump arrest that fraud. Tony is dying for Shifty Schiff to get arrested for doing no crimes, because that's how it works in a fascist state. You are arrested when you speak out against the fascist state. That's where we are. We're inches away, I think, from violence. And Donald Trump wants that blood. He wants the violence. He is absolutely gearing up, ready for it. He wants to take action for action's sake. And the minute one of the Dems physically blocks one of his guys from doing an unconstitutional thing, violence. Lots of state violence. And he will have the entire Justice Department rounding people up, rounding up those protesters that were out there, rounding up House members if they show up to the protests, rounding them up and putting them into camps. This isn't a fascist state. It is, though. No one's stopping you from spewing horseshit online all night. For now. You think that's going to be true tomorrow? You have free speech. For now. I'm not sure about tomorrow. Left advocates for censorship. Get that together. Left advocates for censorship? No, they don't. You've been lied to. Again, Tony. As usual, you're a fish in water. And the water is lies. And when you get out of those lies, you're like, what's going on? It's crazy up here. Aren't those that speak out against me? Yeah, arrest those that speak out against me. That's what he's going to do. Without Biden's pardonship, Trump would be going after him. Yeah, exactly. Well, I think he might even ignore the pardons, boss. Trader Todd. I think he's going to start ignoring the pardons too. Yes, says me. I'm predicting the future. It's hard. And sometimes I get it wrong. I've no doubt gotten things wrong. Trump has called for the imprisonment of major news media personas. Yes, he has, Mel Siddian. He has said that if you say the things that are true, you should go to jail. If you say true things about Donald Trump, you should be in jail. That's where we're going. That's where we're getting to. If the people physically try to stop Elon, it will only make him arrest you or do worse things. Here, let's look at son of a bitch. We're not going to look at that one. Republicans block Musk from congressional subpoena as Doge continues to access government data. Democrats say Musk is ignoring the law and has no authority to cut spending. The Democrats said, let's subpoena him so he can come to us and talk to us and we can ask him questions about what he has done. The Republicans shot that down. So you don't get to ask him questions. He will not be subpoenaed. We will not ask him questions. Elon Musk's aide is now working at VA and accessing its computer systems. Tony, I don't remember if you're a veteran. I think you mentioned being a veteran one time. I could be wrong. But Elon's friends are in the VA. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't like that at all. I think they are going to cut things that the veterans need. They are going to cut spending. They are going to force these people to go out on the economy, and it's going to cost them more so they can save money. And that money will be funneled back towards himself, Elon, or Donald Trump. They are going to steal from the taxpayers and keep it. That's the plan. That's what's happening. I did say Trump. No, I was hoping that he lost the election. I said he might win. I said this specifically to you, Tony. You said Trump could win, and I said maybe he will. You were adamant that you were right. No, I wasn't. I told you he still had a chance, and it was going to be a very close election, and it was. Now it's this. Just cut the crap, Waldo. Your predictions on politics are on par with Jim Cramer's financial predictions. I agree that Jim Cramer's a piece of shit. See, Tony, we can be friends. Jim Cramer's a lying sack of shit. Aren't we friends now? I said specifically, and you can go find it. You should go watch all of my old live streams to find exactly where I said this to you. I need the numbers, please. I said that he could still win. Trump cares about attention. He's talking heads has through eyeballs on them. Cares call for their censorship. Yeah. Is that the hardball? No. Jim Cramer's the bald economics man who hits the money, the sound effects, and swings a baseball bat sometimes just because he's a lunatic. And he's the only 20 years ago, the economy was boring. Economic news was very boring. Jim Cramer had a soundboard and swung a baseball bat around and acted like a lunatic on the news. And Ben Bernanke, yeah, and he would say funny things, and he had memes, slightly. That made more people watch. That made them think that he was correct because he's on TV. You can't go on TV and say something wrong about the economy. They'll take you off the air. He was wrong about the economy. Most economists are, especially if you're on TV. Never trust an economist on TV. Anywho, what was I saying? We were going down this list of stuff. Doge staffers enter NOAA headquarters and incite reports of cuts and threats. Members reportedly sought access to IT systems, an agency that Project 2025 has called harmful to U.S. prosperity. They're entering NOAA. They're entering the VA. The coup is ongoing. They have the Treasury. They have devices in the VA. They have some stuff in NOAA. And is there one more? No, that's it. That's all I've seen so far. Elon Musk is putting his equipment, his hard drives, in government buildings. He controls them. He can then see what's on all the government systems. He has programmers following him around all day. Bunch of 22-year-old 4chan Nazis. And they are absolutely going to take from the American taxpayer, put it in their pockets. If we're lucky. If we're lucky, that's what they do. If we're lucky at this point, they just rob us. Because what happens if they don't want anything more than that? What if they actually are fascists? They are ideologically fascist? Quit whining and invest in Dogecoin. Elon doesn't own Dogecoin. So what do we do to stop the coup? We can't. There's nothing we can do. 2 days ago, when this started on the 3rd of February, if they had arrested Elon and his friends immediately, maybe we could have stopped it. It would have caused a little bit of ruckus. It would cause a little bit of a tussle. But it would have been so fast, so quick, and we wouldn't know what's going on that Trump wouldn't have had his boys ready to go. He would have sent more agents to release Elon Musk, and then we would have to watch that whole video of Elon Musk being released from jail, and then he would go find a camera and tell you about how he was attacked and harmed by the leftist, wokest mobs. It would be a lie, and it would be horseshit, of course. But then maybe everybody would be like, well, yeah, you walked into the fucking Treasury and started putting shit down. Yeah, okay, the public might have been okay with it. He walked into the Treasury, he started plugging stuff in, we arrested him. That's how the system works. But since that didn't happen, I don't think it can anymore. I think the window has closed. And if we try to stop him physically, violence, lots and lots and lots and lots of violence. Will democracy won at the polls? I mean, democracy the 1.5% more of the people voted for Donald Trump. Yes. And you guys will have your turn of voice and opinion in 2 years. No, we won't. Elon's in charge of the Treasury. He will underfund voting efforts wherever he wants. He will underfund states. He will cut funding to the places that will hurt the most. He is in charge of the government's money now. He'll underfund the things that help people vote. Dogecoin has been halved since the election. Oh no, it's never been so over. Yeah, half price. The Dogecoin has dropped. Elon controls all the money. And he's getting control over the VA, and he's getting control over the taxes, and he's getting control over NOAA and the weather, and OPM, and who works for the government. I can't trust an election that happens while Elon Musk is in charge of the government. How could we? How could anybody trust it? You might believe it because it makes you feel good. But I don't think anybody will trust it. Yeah, you're right, Trader. It is our money, and we should be angry about it. We should have arrested him on the first day, but we can't anymore. I think we're past that. I think that it causes so much violence. I think the minute he gets pushed against, he's going to scream and he's going to live stream it, and then he's going to claim victimhood, as conservatives and Republicans always do. Victim, 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 victim. Stop hurting us, stop hurting us, stop hurting us. They always cry about how everybody's mean to them and how everything's wrong and everything's been taken from them when they have the most stuff. Then what are we going to, they'll be in holding, if they even make it that far. That's if the other FBI guys don't ram the car and block the road, prevent you from putting Elon Musk in a jail cell. And then they fight it out in the streets to get him out. And then Donald Trump creates a new police force that reports only to him and is funded by the sovereign wealth fund. And then that sovereign wealth fund is used more and more and more as they get rid of the IRS, because I think they already pushed that bill out there. Didn't they put out a bill to get rid of the IRS as well? Let me look that up real quick. Bill to abolish the IRS. News. Yeah, here we go. U.S. Representative Carter introduces a bill to abolish the IRS. So when the IRS is abolished, they'll switch to like a flat tax, which harms poor people more often than rich people. And then all of that will go into the sovereign wealth fund that Trump controls. He will decide who gets money and who doesn't. He will decide which departments get money, and he will decide which ones don't, based on who kisses his ass the most. He will be the emperor. He will be the king. He will decide who gets money and who doesn't. And if you want some of it, you better show up, say nice things about him on Twitter, say nice things about him to a camera, bend the knee, and plead for the money. And if he thinks that you've shown enough fealty, he'll give it to you. But if you haven't, you won't. And you will be cast aside. I reckon Trump trusts Elon this much. I used to be interested in I thought they were going to butt heads. I really did think that Elon and Trump were going to butt heads because they have such big egos. Trump's ego is gone. He's a beaten dog. He does whatever Elon tells him. He does whatever the people tell him. He does whatever the 2025 people tell him. He signs whatever they put in front of him. He has no ego left. He weaves, sure, and he talks and he jibber jabbers. And they use him. But honestly, he isn't driving this bus. Elon's driving this bus. We didn't vote for Elon. America voted for Trump, and Trump is pulling every lever he can, trying to reshape the government in his image. Yeah, absolutely. He's trying to undermine everything. Just make it all his voice. A flat tax is technically fair, in my opinion. I can appreciate the idea of a flat tax, but it hurts the poor people more. Charging a poor person 1% of their income hurts. Charging Elon Musk 1% of his income doesn't. Well, not income, but sales tax. Because, so sales tax. So why is a flat tax technically worse for the poor? Because they have to buy stuff and it hurts them more. You know, if they pay 7%, if you make it a nice round number like 7% of their food and stuff like that is taxed. That hurts them. It doesn't hurt Elon. Elon eats the same amount of food every day that the poor person does. But the poor person will buy less because of that tax. Elon has one toothbrush. The rich person needs one toothbrush. The poor person also needs one toothbrush. But it costs the poor person more. And that doesn't sound good. We should start working people to earn more money, get taxed at a high rate. Why should hardworking people that earn more money get taxed at a high rate? Because they have more to tax. I'm a leftist. Yes. Tax the rich. Tax the billionaires. Tax the ultra wealthy to pay for things. Yes. Elon didn't get to be the richest man in the world because he worked hard. He was born the son of a person who owned an emerald mine. My dad didn't own an emerald mine. He started ahead of me. He started well ahead of me. And I'm okay with charging him more. I don't mind. But I'm a leftist. I'd say that. Wallow's crashing out all night because Trump is fixing America. He is ruining America. He is destroying the Constitution. He is destroying the country. He is ruining it. And I would say this. Donald Trump is not being American. He is anti-American. He is anti-freedom. He is against the Constitution. He is passing unconstitutional laws. I'm not going to secede from America. Donald Trump already did. By being anti-American, he has abandoned America. But you like what he's doing, so you feel like it's great. Elon and Doge were part of the MAGA platform. Right. And I warned about how awful they would be. We voted for it. Time to cope. Yes, I know. The people are stupid. I'm sorry, Tony. They voted for a thing. Most of Americans don't vote, actually. Most Americans don't vote because they think it's dumb and boring and cringe, and I agree. It is kind of boring. He won by 1.5%. 1.5% more people voted for him. That doesn't mean he gets to abandon the Constitution. That doesn't mean he gets to abandon all the laws and all the rules and all the guidelines and all the policy. If we choose to work my ass off, shouldn't get taxed more. I'm not sitting on my ass collecting government assistance. Trader Todd, the people who work the hardest generally are the poorest. Working your ass off as an investment banker is a more thought-intensive job, I agree, than a man digging ditches. But the man digging ditches is working harder. Todd Wallow is, per his own admission, a leftist. Yeah, I'm a leftist, for sure. Of course, he thinks you should pay out your paycheck to float bums. He is without shame. You should pay out your paycheck for society. There wouldn't be any bums if the capitalists weren't running the show quite so as much as they are. 1% of Elon's money could pay for 100,000 people's 1% tax demand. Yeah, on a flat tax system. If two people in two brackets buy the same product, the poorer person gets hit harder. That's what I'm saying with the toothbrush analogy. Elon needs one toothbrush. Poor person needs more toothbrush. But by percentage, the tax on that toothbrush hurts the poor person more. Flat tax is an okay system. I'm not perfect. I think it might be better than what we have. Maybe. I could see it, but I really do like the idea of a progressive tax system where you charge the wealthy more. I'm okay with that. But I'm a leftist. Of course I am. So let's see. What else? Anything else to talk about tonight? What was Killer Mac saying about Mitch McConnell? He fell down some stairs? Is that important? Mitch McConnell news. He fell down some stairs. Were they leftist stairs? Were they communist stairs? Were they anarchist stairs? This is just an old man being old. Killer Mac, what do you... fell down, I think, multiple times. Now he's in a wheelchair. Okay, he's like 100 years old. He has dementia and he should retire. I agree. He is very old and he was very good at being a Republican for a very long time. I don't like him. I wish he were not so good at being evil, but he is. He's very good at it, in fact. He's been practicing at it for a very long time and it's hard to beat him, you know. The wealthy still make more overall than the person who below the poverty line. Not all wealthy people create more jobs, especially after a certain tier of wealth. Yeah, and I agree with that. I think a lot of the things that investors are parasites. Trader Todd, I'm probably going to piss you off with that one. Investors are parasites. They are harming everything. They are, I think, other than Elon and Trump, the reason we are in this mess is because investors steal. The investors are the problem. They are the ones who demand more and more and more and more and more and infinite growth for eternity, or else they will wreck your company. They will drop the economy down to nothing if it benefits them. I used to talk to a conservative friend of mine and I described like a company that was just straight lined, producing exactly as much as they needed and paying all the workers that they have, very steady. Investors hate that. Investors hate steady as she goes. Investors hate that. They scream bloody murder about flat, straight lines on your stock market because they need it to go up. They need to buy the dip. They need it to go up explosively. They needed to invest and then shoot to the fucking moon so they can sell it as fast as possible. And then when it dips, they can buy something else. Buy the dip. the instability is caused by the investor class. The wealthy aren't necessarily the enemy. The law needs to be adjusted so that not so the severe wealth ice cream while the perverse get sand. We do need to separate government from capital. I think that is our problem. We have capitalism is running amok in our government. There's a puppy dog over there. I'm going to go grab the puppy dog. Do you guys want to see the puppy dog? Let me go grab him. There he is. There he is. Bobo the bark boy break. It's Bobo, the baby bark boy. Hi, Bobo. How's it going? This is Bobo, the baby bark boy. He is very barky, but he hasn't barked tonight. He's been pretty quiet all night. Say hi, Bobo. Hi to the people. Hello. Yeah. If you want to look at Bobo pictures, you can do so on the Discord. Ooh. This Discord. Go on over to the Discord. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you're feeling. Leave some links for stories if you want to talk about them. And you can look at, there's an entire channel of Bobo the Baby Bark Boy photos. You can look at them. You can click on them. You can Photoshop them into anything you'd like. The Uber Daddy. Trump is our president and I couldn't be any happier. Well, I think he's doing a fascism. Capitalism is a great thing. Capitalism is an okay thing if it doesn't run your government. Bobo has no clue about the creator stakes. I know he's blissfully ignorant of it all. I love a straight line when I'm high speed scalping, as with almost no commissions. I'll trade the spread and earn. I don't know what any of that means because I haven't been indoctrinated into the religion that is the stock market. The stock market is a religion. It has beliefs. It has, for the love of God, it has an invisible hand. Boss, the market has an invisible hand. It works in mysterious ways. The stock market is a religion. Socialism never works. Well, maybe it will this time. I'm pushing for market socialism. That's what I would suggest anyway. Sounds like a currency bro jargon. Yeah, I know, right? You just didn't buy the dip. You got to have diamond hands, you know? I don't see any difference between NFTs, Bitcoins, and the stock market. It's just that we all agreed that the stock market's real. It's not. It's not real. It's not real. It's not a thing. It's imaginary. It's based on feelings. I would push for market socialism, the Uber Daddy. I would say that we need to control we need government and capitalism to balance each other. We are out of balance right now, the Uber Daddy. Capitalism is running amok. The richest man in the world just stole the American treasury so that he can give himself more money and control all the stocks. Donald Trump just created a sovereign wealth fund with which tax money will go into, and he will buy crypto with it. That's capitalism running amok. Nancy Pelosi is incredibly wealthy because of the stocks she owns. That's capitalism running amok. Capitalism is dead? No, I think capitalism is alive, and government died about 2 days ago. The government died about 2 days ago. Capitalism is in charge of the government now. Capitalism is the only law. And if they pay to do the thing, then they did the thing, you know? We are at an imbalance right now. If there, listen, let me put it to you this way. There's only two real powers that I think exist. Capitalist power and people power. If I need a job done, I can use capitalist power, money, to get that job done. I can give someone money, they do the job. Mission accomplished. I give them money to buy all the stuff. I give them money to buy the equipment and the materials. They do the job. Great. Capitalist power. Second is people power. I gather my friends, my family, my loved ones, and I say, hey guys, this is important to me. This is valuable. This is important to all of us. Can we do this job? At which point I would direct them. What I've done is create a tiny little government. It's a very tiny one of only a couple of people, but I would be in charge of acquiring the materials. And if they agree that it's important for all of us to do the thing, we do the thing. That's why labor unions are simply little governments. Little governments. A labor union has a president. It has a treasurer. It collects taxes, aka dues. It has constituents, aka workers. That is why those two always seem at odds, the companies and the workers' unions. That's why they're always at odds, because they're the two sides of the power. They're the only two powers that I think can exist, honestly. And if one gets too much authority or power, it throws the balance off. And I think right now we have too much capitalist power. We have too many capitalists who don't care about the laws, don't care about the rules. And even if they break the rules and they break the laws, they'll just pay a fine, but they've got plenty of money, so it's not a problem. If the punishment for breaking the law is a fine, then only the poor people will follow the law. If you have enough money to break the law, you'll simply break the law. Our government didn't like crypto so much before they learned the scam. Crypto is a scam, 100%. Our capitalist society is pupating into an oligarchy. Yes, I think so. And I really do think that violence is on the way. It's coming. Somebody's going to stand in front of Elon as he tries to do a thing, and they will get removed by force. Someone will try to force Elon out of a building, and they will respond with more force. And then Donald Trump lines up the brown shirts. He creates his own police force who take orders only from him and are paid through his sovereign wealth fund. And he will pay them, and they will do what he says. And he's immune to crime now, remember? He's immune to everything. Everything that Elon's doing, this coup, Donald Trump will simply write a letter and say, he did it because of me. I'm immune. Elon's immune. Everyone underneath me, under the presidential immunity umbrella, will be anybody who's breaking the law to benefit him. And worst case scenario, 10 years from now, they hold a fucking hearing and they find Elon Musk guilty. Even though he's not in the country, he's on a jet and he lives in fucking some other country because he has all the money. We find him guilty. And he could just be pardoned if they wanted to. Will this be our unanimous swear? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think the people are paying all that much attention to this. There was a protest. There are all those protesters out there, but I think Elon will just simply hold all of this power and use it sparingly. If he's smart, he uses it a little bit here, a little bit there, to control the entire government for a very long time. So the future Riviera and Gaza will have setbacks. It's going to be a great beachfront property someday, according to Trump. Yeah, you're right. He's the anti-war president, but he's going to go into Gaza, forcibly remove all the people there, and then replace them with condos that he's going to own, put his name on. Anti-war, everybody. Anti-war. Yay. Elon's getting rid of the wasteful spending and being transparent about everything. Nonsense. He's getting rid of things that he doesn't feel like he likes. He is not making decisions based on what's good for the country. He's making decisions what makes him feel good. They call us on the right conspiracy theorists. Right, because I have my hat. I mean, we can talk conspiracy theory if you'd like, because I've got my hat ready. Sorry, the dog is wanting to play. So go get it. Shit. No, he got it. Okay. I've got my hat, and it is... I was a conspiracy theorist for a long time too, Uber Daddy, but I got better. I was a conspiracy theorist for a very long time, especially after 9/11 and stuff like that. And I fell into the whole, I listened to Alex Jones every day. I read the posts. I posted about a bunch of stuff. Most of the conspiracy theory spaces that I hung out in, the places that I was reading about aliens and UFOs and 9/11 and all that fun stuff, went apeshit when Obama won. They became very, very, very racist very quickly. And so I left them and I started thinking a little bit better. I started feeling a little bit better too. Then when around 2009, 2010, the 2012 stuff starts to come out, and I read and knew everything about 2012. God, I watched so many YouTube videos with Graham Hancock and some Hoagland guy and some psychic guy and some little twerp who I can't remember his name even. And they were all on about one thing. They all agreed 2012 was going to be the day. 2012, nobody could argue with it. Nobody could deny big shit happening in 2012. We all agreed. Then nothing happened. Literally nothing. And so I said, okay, if we all agreed, perhaps this is a bad idea. Perhaps I need to distance myself, reassess, and come to a better plan. And I did. And then I left the conspiracy spaces. My head started working better. I started feeling better. I started watching lots of different news sources. I started getting away from that ideology. The dog won't leave me alone. I must throw the very stinky toy. I have a dog and I have a stinky toy that I must throw. And it's not about feeling good. This is about generational wealth. Elon and Trump are going to hoard as much cash for their families as possible. Yes, they are going to do that. But I think that the entire economy is based solely on feels, man. This is why I'm so much against AI. Let me finish with the conspiracy talk, and then I will jump back into AI. But yeah, after 2012 failed and fizzled out, nothing happened, I took the hat off and I said, maybe I should rethink these things. And so I got away from the spaces. I stopped paying attention to the stuff. Even the YouTube videos that I was watching, all of them got deleted. Most of them got deleted. Lots and lots, and just hundreds of hours of 2012 videos got deleted when nothing happened. And then I started thinking better, and I started connecting things in a better way, and I started moving left. And I think that's a progress anyway. AI. Let's yell about that. AI is a bad idea. It's going to do nothing, be nothing, and cost so goddamn much. It will provide nothing. It will cost everything. It will give us nothing. And we're going to sink all of our resources into it. We're going to sink gallons upon gallons. We're going to sink an ocean of oil to run the electricity, to run AI. And AI is going to be owned by Meta, and they're going to make fake people that post fake posts about how much they love a product because they have been paid by Pepsi to love that product. And then dead internet, and you're not going to want to see it. You don't want to see fake people posting about how much they love Pepsi, but Pepsi paid for it. And then Meta took that money so that they could give it to the investors. Again, the investors are the only ones that matter in this country. They're running the damn place. And they're going to spend the finite resources of water and oil that we have to create fake people who say fake things about Pepsi. You're not going to have enough gas to get around because we're spending all the oil to pay for the electricity, to create the electricity, so that Meta can have fake people say fake things, possibly about crypto. That's worst case scenario. We spend oil, water, precious metal resources so that Meta can charge Dogecoin money so that the meta fake people can talk about how good Dogecoin is in an attempt to trick you into buying Dogecoin. But you know that it's horseshit. You know crypto's a scam. You know Dogecoin is a joke, and so you don't buy it. What have we produced? Nothing. We have only wasted all those resources, all that water, all that electricity, all that poison into the air from the air conditioning and the carbon released so that you can ignore a blatant, obvious robot trying to make you buy fake currency. Artificial intelligence in the health sphere could be promising. Otherwise, I'd agree that it's a complete waste. Even then, the doctors and nurses would lose their jobs. Sorry, that's not a good idea. Meta, or there, maybe not Meta specifically, but there is a company out there right now trying to perfect diagnosing by an AI so that they can fire nurses, they can fire doctors, they can stop paying these jackasses because they're tired of paying them. I don't care what your job is. Someone is creating a robot or an AI to replace you, and that's a bad idea. Social media platforms are going to become bespoke AI petri dishes. Yeah, absolutely. They already are. That was the thing about 4chan for a very long time that a lot of people don't notice. I was there a long time ago. I don't go anymore except to find cool wallpapers. I go there for wallpapers sometimes. But it is a petri dish. It is an experimentational platform. The first bunch of CAPTCHAs were happening on 4chan so that they could find out whether or not it works. If it is a functional system. The first couple of places, it's one of the first places to have the press the buttons on the bicycles CAPTCHA type thing. They go there to experiment. And if it works, experiment good. Great. We'll sell that product. If it doesn't work, redesign the product, experiment again. You weren't there when 4chan was cool. 4chan was never cool. That's true. It was never good. I agree. But sometimes they have cool, sick-ass wallpapers. What wallpaper do I have right now? Could I even show it on screen? Would I even want to? Oh, well, yeah, that's a good one. I wonder if I can even show it on screen. I don't think I can. I can't. I haven't set up the right things to show my desktop. I'm only showing my browser stream. Whatever's on my browser, window capture. Yeah, I can't even show my desktop if I wanted to. I can't. I don't want to. But it's a cool Evangelion little photo. I go there for sick papes. That's just me. Anyway, I have rambled long enough. I appreciate everybody who's here. Trader Todd, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming. Tony, if you're still here, thank you for coming. Malcidian, I love you. Thank you for being here. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming. I will be back on Saturday morning, 10 a.m., unless the Gestapo kicks in my door and takes me off to the gulag. What will we talk about then? Send me any links that you want to talk about. If you think a cool story is happening and you want to talk about it, go on to the Discord and tell me about it. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what you're thinking. Killer Mech is still here. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. He came. Killer Mech, he came, everybody. Congratulations. It's the shirt. It's because I undid this button, isn't it? It's because I undid this button. I'm on to you. I got you. I undid that second button, and then you got there. I'm just saying. Go on over to the Discord. Tell me what to talk about. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you're feeling. And I will be back on Saturday, and we will talk probably about the El Salvador jails. I don't think I talked about that tonight, but I'm tired, and it's already almost time to go. Sending people to El Salvador prison camps and slavery. It'll be a great time. Donald Trump's bringing back slavery, you guys. We'll talk about that on Saturday. See, now you want to come back and find out how Donald Trump's bringing back slavery. That's it for me. I'll see you on Saturday. Word up and word out, Trader Todd. Absolutely. Good night and goodbye. Stay safe. Be careful.